Tonight, councillors and the Premier call for the Mayor to resign.
A carjacking victim recounts her terrifying ordeal.
Drivers urged to stay safe this fatality-free Friday.
And the local school celebrating 100 years of learning.
This is 7 News with Brough and Joanne Desmond.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening.
Townsville councillors have joined Premier Stephen Miles calling for Mayor Troy Thompson to stand down. Last night he admitted on national television he misled the city's voters during the election campaign.
After weeks of speculation about his military history, Mayor Troy Thompson finally confessed this on national television last night.
You claimed during your campaign you enlisted in 1989 and served for 5 years. Is that correct?
No.
The mayor also said he forgot he only spent 2.5 years with the Army Reserves and he's suffered multiple concussions which can impact his memory. The revelations prompted residents to demand he resign from the top job.
I think he should step down, 100%.
After the investigation, he's probably going to go anyway, so it should save everyone the trouble.
The calls were backed by the Premier too.
That would seem sufficient to me for him to stand down. Well, Townsville is one of our biggest and most important cities. It can't afford the uncertainty that's going to come from a weak leader.
Townsville councillors also launched a vote of no confidence in an open letter to the Mayor this afternoon.
Mayor Thompson, the purpose of this letter is to call on you to resign. You have lost the confidence of us councillors and of the community who believe that political leaders should be open and transparent, and especially the serving and ex-servicemen and women of a proud garrison city.
They say if he doesn't resign, they will move a motion at next week's council meeting calling for his suspension.
We hope that you do the right thing for Townsville and resign and move on to deal with whatever issues led you into this predicament.
Mayor Troy Thompson said in a statement this afternoon he's disappointed some councillors have taken this approach and will address it at the next council meeting on June 5. Bethany Ross, 7 News.
The victim of a terrifying alleged carjacking on Mother's Day fears Townsville's crime is escalating. In an exclusive interview with 7 News, the woman described the moment she was allegedly stabbed and dragged from her car while her daughter was inside.
It was a tragic end to Mother's Day. Megan Johnson was allegedly stabbed after being set upon in her car by an armed group.
5 or 6 of them. You're feeling under threat immediately when that amount of people run towards your car.
The 44-year-old says she was waiting at a red light near the Townsville shopping centre.
This is 11 a.m. in the morning. This is not at night. It's brazen. It's a shopping centre. There's people everywhere.
While her 5-year-old daughter was sitting in the back.
We're a package, like you don't take the car with her in it.
Megan says the incident has impacted her entire family.
She has a fear of blood because there was so much, unfortunately.
She's one of 2 women who were involved in alleged carjackings on Mother's Day.
So there is a lot of fear, women particularly not feeling safe, having to safety plan to get fuel, having to safety plan to go shopping.
She wants to see more of a focus on victims after she struggled to get immediate support.
That is showing you how backlogged the victims assist is.
Trauma means wounding. It could be a physical wounding, it could be a psychological wounding, and it has an incredible impact on the individual.
She fears crime is escalating and wants to see more prevention and early intervention.
And really just having a look at our bail laws and conditions, and is that working?
Chanel Macbeth, 7 News.
Road safety advocates have banded together in a desperate plea to drivers to help tackle the rising road toll. Today is Fatality-Free Friday, but police say motorists should always remember to put safety first.
1,273 photos are hanging on this wall. Each one represents a life lost on Australian roads in 2023, a confronting display to spread an important message for Fatality-Free Friday.
Road trauma is the biggest killer of Australian children aged between 1 and 14.
Yesterday, another tragic day on Queensland roads. 54-year-old Stephen Wheeler and his mother and father in their 80s never made it to their destination.
Between 5 and 6 Australians will be killed on Australian roads every single Friday. So if we can try and improve that, have one fatality-free Friday, we hope it's a stepping stone to ultimately a fatality-free future.
For every person killed on the roads, 40 more are injured, like crash survivor Dinesh Palapana.
I haven't been able to use my fingers, I haven't been able to walk, and the impact on my life, I feel every single day.
Their stories are a stark reminder the key to a fatality-free future is in our hands.
When you're speeding, you've got less time to perceive, less time to react, and less time to actually get yourself out of a situation.
Inside a car, sometimes we think that we're invincible, but really, we're not.
Tiani Reid, 7 News.
Well, using social media may seem harmless, but an American computer scientist says overuse can be as bad as heroin and cocaine addiction. Brad Huddleston has joined Queensland Police touring the state to warn about the dangers of digital addiction.
It's the modern way to communicate. But US researcher and author Brad Huddleston says children are quickly becoming addicted to their devices.
We're seeing the problems with digital addiction increase all over the world. The brain scans are showing identical addiction as those who would be addicted to cocaine and heroin.
He's teamed with Queensland Police to help warn about dangers of increased online exposure.
While the good is there, we have unintended consequences in the form of ADHD, suicidal ideation, depression, anxiety disorders.
There is an increase in bullying complaints coming through to QPS, violent outbursts as well from children from excessive use of digital devices and social media.
He's hoping his contribution will make a big difference.
This is my first country of 4 on this tour, so I've been very busy. This is school number 18.
Children have been engaging so well and asking really important questions.
Spreading the message before it's too late.
He's doing amazing work and just, providing education to children on how to, monitor their own usage as well.
We had a huge shift away from what we call the analog world, which is actually healthy for the brain, into the digital world, and so we need to balance that out.
Savannah Burke, 7 News.
There was a very special celebration at Aikenvale State School this morning. Past students and teachers came together, sharing stories about how far the school has come as it marks 100 years of learning.
Ringing in a major milestone. Aikenvale State School's former teachers and students taking a trip down memory lane with century-old items on display.
It was the biggest school in biggest primary school in Queensland in 1980.
Starting with 46 students in 1924. The primary school has seen a lot of changes over the years.
We didn't even have this hall, and we wouldn't have the pool or the library.
Can you tell us how they did it back in the old days?
I think they used these chalkboards.
Including the look of the uniforms.
They were amazed at what they looked like, and we talked about children coming to school with no shoes on.
People are wearing these good uniforms now.
The acting principal says Aikenvale prides itself on its inclusive environment.
I think the multicultural component of Aikenvale School is an amazing aspect. It really makes our school an amazing place to be.
And the 100-year celebration will continue at its open day tomorrow.
Today we had 150 people respond and turn up to our assembly, and we're hoping that a lot more will come tomorrow.
Chanel Macbeth, 7 News.
I'm sure lots of people will get along there. Well, 3 Townsville mates are getting ready for an off-road adventure to raise money for the Cancer Council. Team Poopsicle are taking part in a rally which challenges participants to take cars worth under $1,500 on tough roads across Australia.
Then you get people giving you thumbs up, and then you get people calling you idiots. But hey, we may be idiots, but we're the ones out having fun and exploring Australia for a good cause. So that's the main part.
The team is raising money at a fundraiser barbecue at Domain Central Anaconda tomorrow from 8:30am before heading off on Sunday.
Yeah, wonderful cause, and no doubt you'll have plenty of fun. We'll take a break in a moment. A new tool to predict the risk of disease for corals on the reef.
And high schoolers combining cricket drills with first aid skills.
returns to 7 News to keep up to date on local issues, and we want you to be a part of it. If there's something happening in your street, your suburb, we want to know about it. Send us a message or drop us an email.
Thanks for joining us here on 7. New technology is taking the guesswork out of reef conservation. It's predicting the risk of diseases impacting coral 12 weeks in advance, so researchers can step in and stop outbreaks before they happen.
What looks like a simple map has the capacity to predict the future.
We've developed a coral disease outbreak prediction tool.
Professor Heron has developed the multi-factor coral disease risk tool, along with scientists from the United States. With a click of a button, you can see what the reef health looks like now and what it will look like in 4, 8 or even 12 weeks' time.
So there's 2 key types of coral disease that we've focused on, white syndromes and growth anomalies.
It's hoped the new technology will inform government decisions and also help those who rely on the reef, like tourism operators or First Nations custodians.
The more we can understand about threats, the better we can help people and their use of reefs.
While this program will aid in reef conservation, Professor Heron says the only real way to save our reef is to stop climate change.
It's also critical to remember that we need to do all we can to minimise the multiple threats and stresses that affect our reefs. Climate change is the biggest of those, and we must act quickly.
Sophie McManus, 7 News.
Do you have a neighbour who loves lending a hand, or maybe know a local business that's always willing to fund a community project? Well, now there's a way to thank them by nominating them for this year's 7 News Queensland Community Achievement Awards. There are 8 awards up for grabs, with the full details of each category available online. Nominations close on Wednesday, August 15.
Saving lives and smashing fours. Students were put through their paces today as part of a combined initiative from Queensland Cricket and the Royal Flying Doctor Service. The kids were given a rare insight into the Flying Doctors and some advice from a Brisbane Heat player.
Learning valuable skills on the pitch and on the plane. The Royal Flying Doctor Service today teamed with Queensland Cricket to spread a message to students.
Combined, and we've got a number of experiences for students, and what we're trying to showcase just some of the services that we deliver.
We've got our simulator here so the guys can see what it's like actually in one of our aircraft when we are doing our operations.
Medical professionals were on hand to take kids through a day in the life of an RFDS officer.
We're doing some CPR, some snakebite training, and combining that with a little bit of our engineering knowledge as well.
And on the field, expert cricket tips and advice from Brisbane Heat's Courtney Sipple.
I'm from the country as well, so I love coming up north. I think it's beautiful up here, and just helping out the kids whenever I can is really cool, and I love being a part of it.
The event was delivered as part of both organisations' reconciliation action plans. James Ingram, 7 News.
Yeah, I bet the kids enjoyed that. Well, time now to have a look at what else is happening in sport.
Special announcement today on the Strand, Nathan.
Yes, spot on, Brough. There was no better backdrop for our country's best artistic swimmers to receive their tickets to the Paris Olympics. We'll have more on that next. Plus all the latest Origin news and the fan favourite forward on track to be a cowboy for life.
Stream 7 News anywhere, anytime, live and on demand on 7plus. And with 7news.com.au, you'll know the news now.
And welcome back. Well, the North Queensland Cowboys have announced their second signing of the week, and this time it's one of their longest-serving current players. Forward Cohen Hess has put pen to paper on a 3-year contract extension running through the end of 2027.
Cohen could be a cowboy for life.
He can find the try line, Cohen Hess.
The homegrown prop has inked a new 3-year extension that will see him in the blue and grey until at least 2027, 12 years after he first debuted for the club. The now 27-year-old is currently rehabbing an ACL reconstruction, but is expected to be fully fit by next year's pre-season. Meanwhile, his teammates have touched down in Sydney, ready to rip into the Roosters. It will be Harry Edwards' second game saddling up as a Cowboy.
Pretty excited to get out there with all the boys, and I'm just basically looking at hard work and let's try and really help on the defensive end of this.
And he's got unfinished business with the Chooks. His last game as a Bulldog was against the Tricolours.
It wasn't a great game against the Roosters last time, so definitely take two with it all. But I'm looking forward to it, and I think they're a quality outfit. Like whoever's there, they're a quality club.
And fresh off his re-signing news, Tom McHaley wants to repay the club's faith in him with his actions.
I've just got to keep working hard. Now that's all sorted, it doesn't change the fact that I just got to keep working hard. Train hard and trying to get better.
Kick-off is 4:05 p.m. on Sunday. Emma Halliday, 7 News.
Sticking with the league, and the Queensland women's side have entered their own camp down on the Gold Coast to prepare for Thursday night's second Women's Origin game against New South Wales in Newcastle. Cowboys players Emma Manzelmann and Mackenzie Wheel have been named to come off the bench once again in a match the Maroons must win to level the series.
And we've just got to come into this game and treat it as that. We need to win this game. So the girls they're fully aware of the situation that we're in at the moment, so they're looking forward to it.
Now, the Sky Blues won that opening game in front of a record women's crowd at Suncorp Stadium, and that's set to be broken with a sellout crowd in Newcastle.
The fact that we're selling out women's rugby league matches is, gives me goosebumps. It's exciting times, and I get emotional about it because it's come so far.
And Game 3 will be played in Townsville late next month. The Sands of the Strand played host to a pretty big announcement this morning, with 8 artistic swimmers receiving their tickets to the Paris Olympic Games. The group has been completing a staging camp at Townsville's famous Tobruk Memorial Pool.
With a backdrop like this, maybe our country's best artistic swimmers won't want to leave for Paris.
It's so surreal, and I think now just having that plane ticket in my hand, it's all becoming real, and I don't know, I'm lost for words.
8 athletes have been selected for the Australian Olympic team.
It feels so beautiful to be a part of this team because we've trained together for so long. We all had to give up and leave home at the beginning of last year, so it's been a year and a half away from home.
The group have been in town since Wednesday, fine-tuning twists and tumbles and perfecting their preparation. And they're hoping the heritage of Townsville's Tobruk Pool wears off on them. The historic aquatic centre has hosted Olympic staging camps for Aussie swimmers since the 1950s.
It's such a special Olympic history, and to be able to swim in the pool and be the first artistic swimming team to swim in this pool and share our skills with the locals with 50 days to go to the Olympics is something amazing.
Emma Halliday, 7 News.
Massive congratulations to the group. We'll be cheering you on in Paris, and that's it for sport tonight. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, terrific. Thank you, Nath.
And stay with us after the break. Livio will have all the weekend weather details for us.
Hello there, Livio, Regano with tonight's weather. Showers are beginning to clear the tropics, but in the south they're doing just the opposite. A wave of modest but steady rain is already affecting the Darling Downs and should reach southern coastal areas by tomorrow afternoon, clearing on Sunday with a sunny southwesterly change to herald the start of winter. 28 degrees the top in Townsville today after a low this morning of 19. Ayr, Bowen and Charters Towers all got to 28 as well. At 3 p.m, our local hygrometer reading at the airport was 64%. To the satellite loop, we'll start with the tropics first. Most of the showers have contracted north to the Cassary and Daintree coasts, a little bit around Cairns, nothing left around the Herbert Burdekin, and very little around the Central Coast and Whitsundays as well. However, this next big band of sheet cloud is now quickly moving in from the west. It's already started raining over the Downs, just light stuff in the Central Highlands, and tomorrow, probably through afternoon, it'll reach coastal parts in the form of moderate rain. Today's chart, on the surface we have a cold front connected to a trough, and remember there's an upper level system as well, and that's generating that big band of sheet cloud. In the tropics, isobars have pulled apart, so the winds are lighter and consequently the showers are starting to clear. Tomorrow's chart, the trough and frontal system moves into southeast Queensland, pole position for an afternoon of rain. It'll start earlier, of course, inland and probably reach the central southern coast later. And then on the outlook chart, that system moves offshore as a low spins up off the New South Wales coast. A dry, cool southwesterly change comes through for Sunday, Monday. To the latest now from BOM, the boating forecast for Townsville waters, east to southeast winds just 10 to 15 knots tomorrow, tending a bit more southerly on Sunday, and then more easterly again come Monday, strengthening slightly. Neap tides again tomorrow. It's the half moon, so there isn't much swing in the tide. The water will be lowest around late morning and highest in the evening. Hobart and Alberta going to find though partly cloudy day. Townsville 19 degrees tonight, 29 tomorrow. Eyre and Ingham 28. Northern Goldfields and Upper Flinders, some morning showers in the southwest clearing. Charters Tower 16 to 27 degrees, Georgetown 31. Looking ahead for Townsville, cooler, drier southerlies on Monday should quickly give way to moisture-laden winds from the ocean by midweek, restoring cloud cover and raising nighttime temperatures once again. And that's it for this week, Folkaronis. Pleasure to have your company as always, and thanks for watching 7 Local Weather. I'll be back on Monday with the next instalment. Hope you can join me. Now it's back to the team.
You're wonderful, Liv. Good on you, mate. That wraps it up. Have a good weekend, won't you? We'll see you Monday.
And also a reminder, you can watch a replay of our news on the 7plus app or our page 7news.com.au. From all of us here, enjoy your weekend. Good night.
Good night.